the first race of the second round of the Cabo Mundo Cup, off to a good start. I managed to be right behind the driver in front. Kart number 55 goes over the grass, loses the position around the outside. I take the opportunity to have the inside on the next corner. He gives me a little tap, but I maintain my inside line and gain the position. I didn't lose much time. I'm right behind kart number 61, and I'm going to try to push him to catch up to the drivers in second and first. I believe that I'm slightly faster, even though he gives me a gesture to push, so I'm going to try to do so. And maybe if I find the opportunity to overtake, I will go for it, but only if I see that I won't lose any time. Reasonable exit out of that corner. I'll have the slipstream into the straight. I tried to go for the switchback, but the corner was too fast for me able to do that. I go slightly wide. He gains a little bit of distance, but I'm right behind either way. He goes over the curb and into the grass. I take the opportunity to overtake. Since I am faster, I'm just going to focus to catch up to the two drivers in front. I'll try to do my best. I ride the curve right over there. Don't gain anything by doing that, so I'm going to try to avoid doing that during the rest of the race. Right, this part of the race is pretty calm as I'm just focusing on gaining time on the drivers in front, and there's nobody attacking me from behind. I brake pretty late for this corner, and this time I went a little too early on the accelerator and went a little wide. Either way, I don't lose much time. Good exit out of there. I'm slightly closer to the driver in front. This part I brake much later than him, but I go a little bit too fast. Either way, I gain a bit of time. This time around that corner was a bit better. I didn't ride the curb. Brake late here. I missed the apex just by a little, but I hit the second one, so didn't lose basically any time. He has, I think, a slightly better exit than me as he gained a little bit out of that corner. Brake late here again. This part of the race, not really much the same, just trying to push as hard as I can and trying to do better lap times each lap that goes by, so I can catch up. At this point, I gain a lot of time. These last two corners, I am much closer. He rides the curb again on the exit of that corner. I don't think he gained any time, so I didn't do it during the race. I go wide there too fast, simply. Yeah, this part of the race is pretty boring, actually.
A few moments later.
I'm already really close. After just a few laps, I fixed the mistakes that I was doing before. At this point, I can use the slipstream, so that is another advantage that I will have. I gain a lot of time right in that corner, and as you can see, very close. I'm going to try to be close enough to overtake in the next corner, but he's a little too far. I'm going to brake later and gain a little bit, and I'm going to try to get the best exit as possible so I can think about an overtake onto the first corner. A little too far again, but I have the slipstream and I'm going to brake later than him, which will give me a good advantage. At this point, I'm preparing an overtake, not on this corner, because you don't brake for this corner. It was just a little lift. I have the slipstream now, and right as I do this corner, my kart breaks down, and that's the end of the race. I had more pace than the driver in second, but unfortunately my kart just chose to give up on me after riding that curve. Heading into the second race of the day, I got a good launch. Qualifying didn't go as expected, as the car didn't have top speed compared to the other karts. The driver that qualified one position ahead of me in this race is the same one that did the same before. So just like the other start, I'm going to push him so we can get as close as we can to the drivers in front. He will go slightly slower than me, and I will go for the inside line in the corner that leads to the uphill section. This corner will be very awkward as these carts are heavy and wide. He goes over the curb. He loses a lot of time because of that. Meanwhile, we're heading into another uphill section, and the driver in front of me goes very wide. He will have the inside line for the next corner. I brake hard and get a big tap from behind. I get a good exit, but the driver in the green helmet also has a good exit. I look behind. He will think about overtaking me. I brake very late. He's forced to go back to the normal racing line. He has a little slide coming out of that corner. He'll try to go as fast as he can in this fast part of the track to gain some time in the straight, but he will go on the grass and lose a lot of time and maybe a couple of positions. I have opened a good gap to the drivers behind me, so I can focus now on the pack in front. They are fighting currently, so that will help me to get closer and to be able to use the slipstream. They are fighting each time harder, so I'm going to try to predict what they will do to see if I can gain a position or two. I'm trying to use the slipstream as best as I can. I don't gain any time on the straight, but the driver in front of me goes for the overtake. He pushes the car number 63 wide. I gain that position. I see the door open, and I try to go for another one down on the inside. He almost goes into the grass. Meanwhile, the driver that started in front of me is going for the triple overtake, but he gets knocked out of the race as a big accident right there with 3 cars heading into the tire barriers. Not usual at all in rental karting, but sometimes it happens. Fortunately for me, thanks to that, I've opened quite a big gap behind, so I'm focusing on catching up to the drivers in front, because if I have the slipstream, I will be able to be closer and maybe to overtake, since the slipstream in this track and in most of the tracks help a lot. So just doing qualifying laps at this moment. I ride the curve a little bit. I don't lose much time. Qualifying laps, trying to do the best I can. They are not fighting that much, but I am getting closer. Trying to use every last bit of track that I can use. My kart is starting to give up on me even more, as in the straights. Even when I get a better exit and have the slipstream, as you can see, they open quite a big gap to me. I don't see myself making any mistakes, or at least any significant mistakes, especially to be losing this much time, as the lap before I was like 3 cars closer, so I don't know what's happening. Meanwhile, the drivers behind are starting to get closer, so I need to get as close to the drivers in front as I can to be able to use the slipstream. Nothing I can do at this moment except qualifying laps, so I'm just doing that. I'm starting to realize that the drivers behind are catching up quite a lot. As you can see, the driver behind me is much closer than a couple of laps before. I realized that just about now as I look behind me. Just opening each time a bigger gap to the drivers in front of me, which is very unfortunate. And the driver behind me is catching up to me at a very alarming rate, to be honest. I'm going to be very careful to not let him overtake me. I'm trying to do qualifying laps. I look behind me to see if I have to defend. I currently don't have to, but he is very close. He gains a lot of time on that braking zone. He even has a little slide, but he gains time on me either way. He is very close to me. I look back, I don't think he is close enough. But with slipstream, he will go down on the inside. I definitely didn't expect that. I brake really late. Either way, he pushes me a little wide. I try to recover the position. He leaves the door open. I definitely go for it. He makes me ride the curve, and after that he almost goes to the grass. Meanwhile, the driver behind in the white suit takes the opportunity to overtake and does it successfully. Maybe if he's a little slower than cart number 63, he will hold him back and I can open a bit of a gap. As you can see, the gap is much bigger compared to the lap before. So I'm just trying to do the best I can. As you can see, the drivers in front have opened quite a big of a gap, so I'm focusing on not letting the drivers behind me get any closer, but the driver in the white suit brakes really late and gains quite a bit of time on me. Trying to not ride those curves, to not lose any time, especially to not go on the grass, as a couple of drivers have done that in these races. He has opened quite a big of a gap to the cart. Well, not big, but he's opened a decent gap to the cart number 63, so maybe it's even more inconvenient for me because he's even faster. So I'm going to defend the best that I can. I'm going to try to not lose much time. As you can see, 5 carts really close one to the other right behind me. So if I make the driver right behind me lose a lot of time, they will all be bunched up in a very small distance, which is very inconvenient, because if you lose a position, then probably you will lose multiple. He's right behind me, pushing me in the straight. I'm going to defend just in case. It's really hard to overtake in that corner, but sometimes someone goes for the dive bomb, so I defend just in case. I look behind, he's relatively far. He will brake earlier. Cart number 63 goes for the opportunity. He gives me a little tap. I go a little wide, but I have the inside line for the next corner. I get a tap from behind for cart number 74. He takes the opportunity to overtake. Meanwhile, cart number 72, the driver in the green helmet, also takes the opportunity to overtake. I managed to recover the position right in the next corner. Cart number 65 takes the opportunity to gain a position. He is very close to me now. I can't allow him to overtake, as I lost a position, and I need to get as close as I can to the driver in the white suit to recover that position. They are all very close now. The pack that was a pack of 5 is now a pack of 3, but they are the pack right behind me, right behind us, about 5 cars or more, is getting each time closer. Meanwhile, cart number 63 goes for the overtake. He does it successfully, but the driver in the black suit won't be satisfied. He goes for the inside line. He brakes really late. He goes a little wide. He has a big slide. Cart number 63 regains the position with a pretty good overtake. He will try to go as fast as he can to not have to defend to the drivers behind and to get closer to me and have the slipstream. At this distance, he will have a slipstream, which is very useful, as I said before. He is very close now. I'm going to look behind. He is pretty far, but with the slipstream, he will gain a lot of distance and go for the dive bomb from very far behind. He pushes me a little. I will try to regain the position in the next corner. He closes the gap, heading into the main straight. I will try to go side by side. I can't. My cart isn't able to put itself side by side. I am still close either way. I give him a little tap heading out of that corner. He looks behind. He defends. I try to go for a faster racing line to get a better exit. I am very close heading into the slow part of the track, into the uphill section. I gain a lot of time in that corner and goes for the inside. He turns into me and spins into the tire barrier. It's a pretty unfortunate end to his race. I went for the dive down on the inside and he didn't expect it. He turned into me and spinned into the tire barrier. That's a racing incident if I've ever seen one. But right now, I'm just worried that the drivers behind me will catch up again. And in just one straight, he recovers quite a lot of distance with that slipstream. He is not close enough to go for the overtake in this corner, but he will be very close. It's now the last lap. He will go for the outside, which will be now the inside, but I have the inside for the slower corner. I regain the position, and the driver in the green helmet will take the opportunity to have the inside for the next corner. He recovers that position successfully. I look behind, but I'm going to defend just in case, so I don't get overtaken in this corner again. He tries to go for maybe a switchback, but he will have a little tap from the driver in the black suits. He loses a position, and I managed to maintain my position, and which was a very difficult race. I'm pretty happy with the way that I defended.